Hello, guys, and welcome back to another one of our weekly calls. We're talking about something mindset related today. We're talking about motivation, something that we talk about loads in the program and for many very justified reasons. We're talking specifically today about what to do when you feel unmotivated, which is inevitable in this journey. It's going to happen. We're not robots. There's going to be lots of times in this journey where you guys feel really motivated, which is fantastic. You feel locked in, you feel really driven. But also, there are going to be times where you do not feel motivated. You're not going to feel like showing up. And that is just part of the process. You guys that have been in the program for a long time, we've got lots of you that have been in the program for a year, 2 years plus. You guys will know that you've had loads of periods of time where you felt amazing on top of the world, and you've had other times where you felt a little bit low and not felt very motivated. So we're going to talk about why that's the case and how to overcome that with some practical steps. And that's what we're going to go through today. First things first, you guys might be able to relate to this, but this is what often happens to pretty much everyone. You start your journey with the best of intentions. You start your fitness journey. You might be someone that's totally new to this. You've never stepped foot in a gym. You've never tracked calories before, anything like that. Alternatively, you might also be somebody that has done this before, had some time away, but you're now coming back to it again for the first time. You might start your journey with the best of intentions, but once the dust settles, the shininess of the new thing wears off. That's when the real challenge starts. And that can often be the time where, after the first few weeks of something, when that dust has settled, you notice that your motivation tends to drop a little bit. And that happens to pretty much every single person. It's normal, but we're going to talk about what to do when you do have those moments, when you do have those periods. The very common things that cause us to feel unmotivated, events and things that happen in life. Getting sick, first of all, getting ill. It's really hard to come back from when you've been really poorly or if you had an injury or something like that. Holidays as well. It's amazing when you go on holiday. You have time off, time away, you escape reality, you eat amazing food, you rest, you do whatever the hell you want, which you should, as you bloody well should, because that's what holidays are about. But coming back to routine can be really difficult. I actually, in full honesty, felt this way last year when Adam and I got engaged. Adam and I got engaged in August last year, had an amazing holiday in Greece, had a lovely time, and I was kind of in that like engagement bubble. I was really excited, and I was always happy to come home, like always looking forward to coming home. But I found getting back into routine, getting back to work life, meal prepping, fitness routine, getting back to getting up really early in the mornings and things like that. I found that really challenging, and that's normal. Also, busy and stressful periods at work and just in general family life, like family commitments. I don't have children, but I know that loads of you people and loads of you guys inside the program do have children. And oftentimes, when things come up with your children and things like that, sometimes it feels like your time is much more precious and you're a little bit more stretched. And as a result, motivation can come and go too. I want to just make it really clear that it's a normal part of the human experience. We're influenced by stress, tiredness, routine, and life changes. These things are always going to come up. Life's always going to throw stuff at us, and there's always going to be things that we need to work through and overcome. But what's really important to remember is that motivation is actually temporary. Relying on it alone does not lead to consistent progress. Here's the truth about motivation specifically as well. So, a reality check. We often believe that motivation should be constant. If we don't feel motivated sometimes, particularly those of us that are maybe more towards the start of our journey, if we have a time where we lose motivation and don't feel it, a lot of times people feel like there is just something wrong with them. They think, oh my goodness, how do other people just go on to smash this and like stick to it for life? And I don't. There must be something wrong with me. I must be broken. It's not the case at all. It just makes you a human being. Every single person feels this. And the truth is, even the most dedicated people feel unmotivated a lot of the time. Olympic athletes do not wake up every single day feeling motivated. And neither do, regular people like us either. We do not wake up every day. I've been going to the gym for 6, 7 years. I'm a coach. I have many, many days when my alarm goes off early in the morning and I don't feel like it. It's normal. But these people that stick to it long term and people that stay consistent don't have more willpower. They don't have it. They have just been willing to push through the discomfort of feeling unmotivated. And that's what the kind of the secret is, or the tool is that you need. Motivation isn't actually a real thing. If we think about what motivation actually is, it's not something that's tangible. It's an emotion. Therefore, because it's just an emotion, we can't rely on it because we know that emotions go up, down, left, right, they're fleeting. So we cannot rely on them to pull us through. But the good news is that you don't have to. What you need to do instead, and what you need to remember, is that you have to follow the plan and not your mood. And let's talk about why that is. So, mood versus plan. Your mood is variable, unreliable, and emotion driven, as we know. But a plan is structured, consistent, unemotional, and it's grounded in your goals. And my question to you guys, everybody watching this, which one do you want to lead your life? Which one do you think is going to get you a life-changing transformation and get you to stick to this for life? Which one do you think it is? It's the plan, right? No brainer. We know that the mood won't do it, but the plan will. Why following your mood will never work? Your moods change daily and they are influenced by external factors. If you only train or eat well when you feel motivated, your progress is going to be crazy inconsistent. If I think about me and how I feel a lot of the time, and I'm pretty sure that most people would agree with me, I think I feel motivated probably 50% of the time. Other 50% of the time, I don't feel so motivated, especially when the alarm goes off in the morning to get up early and get into the gym. There's so many days where I think to myself, do I really need to do this? Like, shall I just stay in bed? It's because we always want to seek comfort. Our brains always want us to seek comfort and keep us safe. But if we only do the stuff that we need to do when we feel motivated and when we feel like it's the right time, we're never going to get to where we want to be, and our progress is going to be super inconsistent. Commitment to a plan gives you stability and gives you consistency, and that's what we have to focus on. And the science behind motivation as well. The thing about motivation is sometimes we think that, oh, motivation will just wash over me. I'll just suddenly at one point just get bathed in motivation and I'll just feel it. That's not the case. Motivation comes after taking action and not before. So if you're currently just waiting until you feel motivated, you're going to be stuck where you are of just never taking action and never taking any steps forwards, because you have to take the action to feel the motivation. Taking small steps triggers a sense of accomplishment, which as a byproduct just fuels more motivation. When we do the things that we say to ourselves that we're going to do, when we follow through with what we say to ourselves and the promises that we give to ourselves, that gives you an incredible sense of accomplishment. Likewise, when we let ourselves down, when we don't do the things that we promised ourselves we were going to do, that gives us feelings of unaccomplishment. And honestly, doesn't make us feel good, right? It makes us feel like we're not sticking to it and we're just kind of being dishonest to ourselves. So what you have to do is take those small steps and just keep triggering that sense of accomplishment. And that is, as a byproduct, just going to keep fueling more motivation for you and keep you on track. Action breeds motivation and not the other way around. Action breeds motivation. And in many, many cases, action overcomes anxiety about taking that action too. So let's now talk about practical steps to actually help you overcome those days where you don't feel motivated. We've talked about why we don't feel motivated. We've talked about why it's really normal, but let's bridge that gap now of, okay, I know that I sometimes feel this way and it's going to happen. But what do I actually now do to overcome it regardless? So first of all, I've got some practical steps for you. I first of all want you to just set non-negotiables, just set non-negotiables. Create a baseline routine that you will follow no matter what. Lots of you will have heard me and Adam talking about the floor and the ceiling before to you guys. If you haven't, you probably definitely will at some point. The floor and the ceiling is a really good metaphor that you should stick by. The ceiling is your metaphor and is for the perfect day that you have. You do everything, you get all your non-negotiable tasks done. You sleep well, you meal prep, you track all your meals, you go to the gym, you get your steps in, you have enough water. All of those things that you do, that's your perfect day. But in those times where you're either really busy or your motivation has dipped a bit and you're really not feeling it, regardless of how you're feeling, you need to set a floor plan. And your floor, if we think ceiling's at the top, floor is at the bottom, the floor is those non-negotiables that you have set yourself that you are going to do regardless, and make sure that you're always pushing the needle forwards towards progress. So it's not going to be like, the most perfect day ever, but then your floor might be, I'm going to make sure no matter what that I get to the gym 3 times this week. I'm going to make sure that I sleep well, and I'm going to make sure that I at least prep protein sources for the week. You need to set that as your floor so that in those times where you're not feeling motivated or you're just crazy busy, you have to stick to that floor plan to pull you through and to keep you on track. Second thing, create triggers. Link your workouts to existing habits or just link your workouts to things that you like. This works so well. Every day that I train, I will go to the gym in the morning first thing and get it done. and I will have a coffee afterwards. I go to the gym, I do my workout, I feel amazing afterwards. I go home, I get ready, and then I have my coffee, which is honestly my favorite time of the day. It is the best thing, and I'm sure lots of you guys will agree with me. I've always linked those two together. So even on the days where I go to the gym and I'm maybe not feeling it, I'm not feeling my best, I'm going to think, oh, it's okay. I'm going to get my session done, and then I get to have my coffee. And that is such a lovely sacred habit that I do, that linking those two things together, they come as a byproduct. And then I think, oh, okay, I'm not really feeling training legs today, but I'm going to have a really nice coffee afterwards. If you're not doing that now, start to do that, whether it's having a coffee or if it's something else that you really love doing. The next thing, focus on small wins. Celebrate small achievements to build momentum. Sometimes if we have a big life-changing goal, let's say, for example, you want to lose like 30 kg plus, it's important to know that that's the goal. But sometimes when we're only focusing on that, it can feel a little bit overwhelming and it can cause us to feel a little bit actually demotivated because of sometimes how scary the goal feels. So in that case, what you need to do is zoom out and just celebrate the small achievements. Don't think of the big picture all the time. Just focus on like the things that you've done today that have been really good. You've hit your step goal, you've stuck to your calories, and you've hit your protein target for the day. Celebrate those small wins along the way and take the pressure off a little bit there. The next thing is prepare ahead. Doing things like setting out your workout gear the night before. You're going to be much more likely to put your gym clothes on and get in the gym. It also might be, let's say, for example, the thing that you are struggling with right now or not necessarily feeling motivated for is tracking your meals. What you need to do instead is think, okay, I really don't enjoy doing this at the moment. I'm feeling unmotivated. I'm going to make sure that I get it done first thing. I'm going to make sure that I prepare ahead and get it done. So do your meal prep and then you can just log it first thing and then you're super motivated and super clear to go. Also, the final thing I want to say if something in particular is causing you to feel really low in motivation, whether it might be nutrition, your workouts, anything at all, if something in particular is maybe feeling like it's hard and it's not quite working, just share it with us. We want to make sure that we're keeping you on track, but also making sure that if something does need to change, we can have that dialogue and we can change it for you. Mindset shifts as well that I want to talk about practical shifts. Now let's talk about mindset shifts. You need to think of your plan as a non-negotiable. We've talked about setting non-negotiable habits. You've got to think of your plan as totally non-negotiable as well, like brushing your teeth. You've got to get to a point where if you don't do the things that you need to do, if you don't go to the gym, if you don't meal prep, if you don't get good sleep, it would feel weird if you didn't do it. That's where we need to get to. Second thing is removing emotion from your decision making. Like we said, we can't rely on our emotions. It's not about ignoring them or pretending they're not there or just just brushing them off. It's not about that at all. But it's about feeling your emotions, feeling that wave of like, oh, I don't want to do this, or I'm not feeling motivated. It's about feeling it and then thinking, I'm just going to do it anyway. I acknowledge I'm not feeling it, but it's just something that I do now. It's just the habit that I've set in place. Commit to the routine, even when your mood isn't aligned, like we said. Commit to the routine, even when your mood isn't aligned. And that is really important. Following the plan and not your mood. Something else that you need to do as well is remember your why. Remember why you're doing this. This is so important. All of you that are in the program currently, you will have had a conversation on the phone with either myself or Adam when you did join into the program initially, and we will have talked about your goals, like talked about why you've reached out, why you want to do this, why you're thinking about joining, and ultimately what you want to achieve and what your dreams are. There's so many different reasons that it could be. And whatever those reasons were for you on the phone that we talked about, you need to remember them. You need to hang on to those because they're the things that you need to keep remembering in the back of your mind for that long-term goal. Whether it's, I want to make sure that I'm an amazing role model for my children and my family, and I have energy to keep up with them. Whether it's, I want to boost my mental health so that I'm feeling my happiest self. Whether it's I'm getting married and I want to make sure that I feel my most incredible confident self on my wedding day. Whatever it might be, I want to come off of my medication that I'm on currently and not have to rely on medication, whatever it might be. Remember your why and why you're doing this, because that is something that is even bigger than what you're feeling in that moment. Final thing, eat your frog. I love this saying. It's so good. Eat your frog. Basically, what it means is if you had to eat a frog every single day for the rest of your life, what time of day would you do it? Would you do it first thing and get it done? Or would you do it like at the end of the day every day? I know for me, I would always rather just get it done first thing in the day. And this is what you need to think of with your health and fitness as well, particularly if there's something that you're not enjoying doing. Let's say, for example, right now, tracking is difficult for you. you're finding it hard to find the motivation to do it and it's feeling a bit tedious, what you need to do is, instead of thinking, oh, I have to track, and then thinking about it all day and worrying about it all day, get it done at the start of your day. So think, I'm going to make sure I've meal prepped. I'm going to have my coffee in the morning and I'm going to make sure that I log all of my meals then, and it will take me 5 minutes. Get into the habit of doing that. Because if you put off doing it all day, it's like eating the frog twice, because you're worrying about doing it all day and then you have to do the thing at the end of the day. So you're much better off just kind of ripping the band-aid off and eating the frog, whatever that frog is for you, eating that frog at the start of the day so that you just get it done once and you don't have to go through the pain of doing it and also worrying about it all day. So that's what that means. Remember that. Remember me saying in your mind as you're going through, eat your frog, eat your frog. And it's all about building long-term discipline as well. The goal here is to make fitness a habit and not a chore. When it starts to feel that way, it just feels like it's part of your life and it's a habit. You know that you've made some really, really amazing long-term change there. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. I know it's not always the thing that we want to hear, but if you want this and if you want to stick to this long term, you have to be willing to do that. And it's all about focusing on your long-term goals rather than your short-term feelings. Always think to yourself, what's going to serve me better in the long run, focusing on the long-term goal or just kind of hyperfixating on the short-term feeling that I'm feeling right now. Some finishing thoughts. Motivation comes and goes. Motivation is an emotion, it's fickle, it's never going to hang around. Discipline and planning is what keeps you consistent. Your mood doesn't, nor should it dictate your actions, but your plan should do. Follow the plan and not your mood. Build a routine that prioritizes action and not feelings. Again, it's not about pretending the feelings aren't there. It's not about becoming robots. It's just saying that you know the emotion is there, but knowing not to trust it and to take that action instead. It's totally normal to have periods of time when you feel unmotivated. It's going to happen to you at some point. If it hasn't happened now, it will happen at some point, and that's totally okay. But these are the times that count the most. Oftentimes, the days where you think, let's say you're in your car in the car park of the gym and you're like, oh, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not feeling it. Oftentimes we go in and those are the best sessions that we ever have. The same way with, I'm really not feeling tracking this week. The week that you're really consistent and stick to that tracking, you see a drop on the scale that you've been wanted to see for a while. These are the times that count the most and are often the best times of our life in a funny way. And the final thing is, make sure that you reach out and always get the help that you need from us. The people inside this program that get their goal, achieve an amazing transformation physically, mentally, emotionally, and the people that stick to it long term and have it for life are the people that always reach out for help when they need it. I know it's really easy to, when we're struggling, to kind of curl up into a ball and go insular and kind of go inside ourselves and think, oh, I'm just going to, I'm struggling. I don't want to share that. I don't want to share that I'm struggling. You need to do the exact opposite, and you need to reach out whenever you are struggling, because that is exactly what Adam and I are here for. Remember that you've come to this program because you need the help and you want the help. So always reach out if you're having these times where you are feeling unmotivated, and we will pull you through. So guys, that is everything for this week. For those of you that are listening live, what I'd love you to do is to go into the group chat and post a hashtag mindset with your biggest takeaway from this call. Actually, those of you that are listening back that are inside the program as well, you can still do that if you're listening to the pre-recording. Put a mindset with your hashtag mindset into the group with your biggest takeaway. You can also do that. And if you guys do have any questions that you'd like to ask me or Adam, you know where to find us. Just drop us a message and we'd be more than happy to go through some specific questions with you. But that's everything for today, guys. Great to have so many of you here live. And for those of you listening back, hope that you found this also super useful. And have an amazing morning, everybody, and we'll catch up very soon.